but I think that when it comes to FPX, they're the ones with some pressure on their shoulders. They're trying to defend their title, and right now, it's do or die.
Yeah, they've switched up their comp quite a few times on this map, just slightly, with Zyppan again going back to the KO. Much more early information, but his overall aggression, especially on the attack, might be a little bit more difficult. It might just be a switch to actually help them on this defensive side, though, because if we remember last time, they kind of got smashed.
Yeah, for sure. Look, both teams had their flaws. Let's say that. But when it comes to starting this out, I expect KRÜ coming in on the attack. This is where they can thrive. If they get this pistol, nice start to it, and it's only SUYGETSU waiting here. That drone should push him way back. And he's got a wall. He won't be able to use it. A good cancellation. That's pretty much site control for free.
Yeah, that almost guaranteed after plant, but it will be an attempted retake coming through from FPX in just a moment. It doesn't even look like they're going to be able to delay. No utility really put out to try and weaken some of these players. They are just looking to go in as a full fight.
They've still got their wall for post-plant, and there's the opening duel with keznit falling. They need to find an answer on site. Hold on that little bit longer, and look at that. 2 quick kills coming through as players are dancing around the site, bypassing each other. ardiis picks up a side angle for Angel, but it only keeps it into even numbers. 2v2, wall up, and now they've got to rush. They've got to take this fight, and ardiis just won't go down. He's bought enough time. The defuse is undeniable, and the kill, although it's found in favor of KRÜ. The
play today.
Hey, look, this is FPX things, right? They got their 3 rifles. They're coming in with a Spectre and a Ghost. We heard it on the desk. Mimi was talking about it. One of the first teams to pull this out of the bag, if not the first, and they've certainly been the most successful with these very strange second rounds. They can't afford to lose too many players, which is always the caveat. A very awkward fight in mid. And Mazino's gotten right up close. Luckily, they're more than aware of the space they're giving up. So they'll fight that off. Although, at this point, they're dragging a lot of rotations, faking back to B late. If ardiis goes down, that's a rifle. Oh, and it actually comes pretty close.
Toxin screen down.
Yeah, still, a lot of the time when it comes down to these eco rounds, you want to head into the ace-up just because the range advantage kind of dissipates. The pistol's given an opportunity inside SUYGETSU's corner, not cleared. They've done a lot of damage to a lot of players over on the FPX side, Mitch, but only able to capitalize on one, and that one only had a pistol.
Exactly. Look, they've taken the shields off pretty much everybody, but they want to drop those weapons. That's where the value is found. Angel's going out and about trying to find some more kills. He's got to heal up as well, so a little bit more confident in taking those duels, and they've spotted NagZ, and he won't be able to use his pistol. Doesn't have any bullets in it anyways. He'll be taken down to close this round out 2-0.
Adapted to that, or if KRÜ are even going to continue to just pressure that B site in the same way, because in the early stages of this map, they've had a fairly heavy A lead.
I like this idea of doubling up, almost baiting Zyppan at the start. And one thing on that, you come up against FPX, we saw the stat pop up moments ago, that they were 2-0 in rematches when it came to Masters Copenhagen. And the reality is, when you beat a team like FPX or lose to them, playing them that second time, Angel, having that second look at your team and how you play it is terrifying.
Also, Doombros doesn't sleep.
Let's
also just remind people of that. He has like 18-hour days and just basically stays up all night to make sure this team is prepared. So anything you did last time, they're going to be ready for.
Exactly.
So that's actually why I think KRÜ are leaning now more heavily over to the A side. Because, okay, they've seen our B setup quite a lot. Let's throw down the screen on that side and now push into the A side instead.
That's exactly it. Now for FPX, their A retake was tested a bit. We saw it in the pistol round, and it was quite solid hold out of them. A wall up to deny control on that side, and attempting to pull them in, seizes, snake bites, everything on its way. FPX, though, not finding that contact. KRÜ are patient on this. They're not blitzing in. They've sensed a lot of presence. They want to kill to get them into that site, but now time's starting to become an issue. They've got to get a move on.
Oh, that's not the start they were looking for. Shao already swinging onto Rumper, but Mazino has been able to trade. Kicks back, in fact. All right, blink and you miss it. Everybody on the side of FPX dies within a second, and ardiis, well, I imagine he's a little bit confused as to what just happened.
Well, he's going to have to double up his kills, and they've spotted him as well. Looking to take you down and make this bonus round not as costly for them. Already decent damage. And they'll walk out of that 2-1. KRÜ, 3 players alive. Rez online. So
of the battle era. Like, they are both going to be fighting, putting up high numbers, and getting aggressive with this agent. Especially on that defensive side, they're going to be crucial. Nonetheless, again, we are going to see some early presence here from ardiis ready and waiting for the fight.
You've already had that player down below making noise. With the drone coming through, someone needs to break it. If it spots ardiis, this is done. The wall! Ooh. I don't know how much that would have revealed. Again, even with the mini-map at that point, with a wall in that position, I'm not sure. But either way, he is staying in that position, holding the control, and Angel is caught at a sneaky attempt out of NagZ to move through mid. One player down, Rez is online. Going to mid to Rez, though, with a minute on the clock. There's an option to do that.
Yeah.
Do they want to? And we're seeing right now, it doesn't appear to be the case now. They know that ardiis is here. They know he can't get out, and he's gone.
Good clearance. And actually, Delzik has found another. Catching Zyppan as well. Will they expect the third player to be here? Angel's actually rotated in that little bit earlier after being spotted in mid, but it does seem like they're very aware of this check, and Shao can only do so much.
They've got that res now to bring him right back online. They need more than just a one kill, and they'll find them! SUYGETSU came in to save the day!
Alright, in each fight. The res going through, he just ignores.
There's Viper's Pit on command. Had it ready just in case he was going to be hit by that knife, which indeed he was. Now that control is denied completely. Hey, all right, well, you don't want to go towards the Viper's Pit. You turn back, you think, maybe we'll try the B site. They can't get anywhere near it. And not to their teammates, at least. These players now cut off completely, and they pretty much need Viper to come back and, yeah, get that orb down. No. Oh, we're taking a lot of risks here.
It's like he only has 3 bullets left. Let's try and reduce. Oh, okay. Did they both connect the shots there?
They must have.
Because there's actually an assist coming through as well from Delzik. They've made this one at least a little bit more competitive. The problem is clearing that Viper's Pit is still going to be incredible. You guys have pistols in this round, Tom, and you've already got a tour de force of Viper's Pit and a res burned up by your opponents. Already a good round for KRÜ, to be honest. And now they might be able to get to this site. They've actually got the space to walk up. And what happens when that Viper's Pit goes down on B? I think FPX are starting to make that realization. They need to be here. The duel, and duel they shall. Delzik, if you're going to pop the ult, you're doing it practically alone. In fact, not alone. No, that's an awkward fight. Who are you and what have you done with Shao? Like, that man doesn't miss easy shots. Okay, ardiis is going to make sure that they're not going to get away with too much more. NagZ has already had to retreat and actually pulls out the tour de force. Man thinks he can win. He was wrong.
Hey, I love the confidence. Sometimes you got to just believe, but that faith was clearly misplaced. Not
ult economy, though, actually quite heavily in favor of KRÜ here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. FPX had this opportunity to be massively ahead at this point, to be able to challenge pound for pound with most of these ults, but they used so much of it to secure versus an eco, and then someone like ardiis will just come through. Opening duel already secured. KRÜ on the back foot. The player they lost is keznit. You're not taking ardiis' utility away. He has got a way out for the rest of this round, and he is currently not looking for a way out. He wants to try and catch some kills. Eventually, he'll reposition. From here, I mean, it just becomes a time drain on KRÜ. Where are they going to take it? I'm not even sure they know. They're faking out B with a drone. They've got a wall to play with there. And hopefully that drags FPX rotations. But as we can see, it is not.
The thing is as well with the composition switch, like you're going to need much
Huge
more
info.
in terms of the Rays being aggressive. Whereas with the KO, you can basically just use that knife for information. You can pop flash into angles. There's a lot less risk in everything that FPX are doing. And then you've also just got ardiis roaming the map. And well, he's got support from Zyppan. This is looking worryingly easy at this point for FPX. They've had multiple individual duels. They have taken themselves a 3-man lead, and no space has been garnered whatsoever for KRÜ. They're stuck in the mud, and you have to bear in mind that both teams won 9-3 attacking halves last time around.
Not the start that we need for this team. And, you know, when you see some of these duels and how annoying ardiis has become, a player we highlighted, of course, we highlighted the last time he played. It went nuclear on Fracture. The reality is, when you look at the position they're currently in, they might not even get out with a rifle. Oh, almost serves as a bait. Zyppan coming from above. A 5th can't be safe no matter where you go.
Yeah, and you can see building up for maybe a slightly faster paced takeout from KRÜ. I think they need to do that. At the moment, they've been allowing FPX to sit back, patiently wait. Was there something behind that? Was there any information, or did SUYGETSU just decide to take a shot at the perfect timing? He has also been having a very solid game. keznit has been able to get one, but even still at the back of this site, he's just causing them issues. Even takes a 3rd with him, and now only the stingers remain.
Still that pit online that could be dangerous, and Delzic's got another kill. There it is. The pit's going to be used, and this is the right moment for it. You're up against ardiis with an operator. Not going to be easy for him to garner that value. In fact, he will abandon that scoped weapon where he's found so much success. The man is equally as capable with a rifle. This isn't easy, but having to fight into that pit, it makes Mazino's stinger an op almost if he manages to catch you at the right time.
Even just trying to slow them down and misleading them as well. That slow, they know exactly where that came from. So you can see all the angles that are needing to be cleared, and Mazino is just patiently waiting for this push to come around the backline. So as you mentioned, if they go into this pit, the more deadly he becomes by the second. The timing, though, has gone desperately wrong. He's still going to spot out Shao. Too easy off the back of the SMG, and ardiis has no choice but to fade away and save. A big round coming out of KRÜ, one that they almost definitely shouldn't have won, and it's something that might also call into question the defensive side of FPX a little bit, because they've been able to hold on to utility. The differences in the way that they're playing are massive.
I mean, even just a round or two ago, they used the fatal to detect the fake. They threw it out because they're like, okay, these guys are telling us we're coming B. You're droning, you're walling.
Info already.
Now there's only 2 guys there, and here again, that information found right off the bat. KRÜ pumped the brakes.
Look at the aggression on A. It's a push and pull. Like, they go, okay, we know there's 4 people here. There could be maximum 1 player on the other side of the map. Let's just aggressively take A control. We can already rotate. We've got 3 players in, 1 holding mid. Like, this setup is purely off the back of 1 KO knife.
Oh, no, Delzic. He spotted him. He's seen him. That's at least the information, but how do you challenge ardiis from that angle, on that range? Delzic, the man with the wall, surely not the one to go forward and swing out. I saw him just jump peek it, but that's about all, just to make sure he wasn't getting up close. They'll grab a plant out of that, and that's a very successful push for KRÜ. Still with the wall to use right now.
Just placing it down just to try and again delay them on the rotation. They've done well here. Just almost disrespected the KO ult and get that space instead. The afterplant is something that KRÜ are fantastic in when we saw them previously, and now NagZ can almost sit back and wait for the fight. He's going to connect, but I think it was only a leg shot.
All the defuse was tapped, but the kills are coming through. Hunter's Fury to confirm they're not on it, and we reset again. More passive. It could have been, but they went out. They wanted to take some of these fights, and now they're forced into the angle. Zyppan, 3 kills. If he had 4, that would have been remarkable, but KRÜ
have been so strong. Is those B-site afterplants, they've been fantastic. The interplay, the synergy, even the utility at times has been very, very good. That's what FPX has tried to deny throughout this game, and this is the first time they failed.
Taking a look at the A-side passive. Obviously, ardiis looking to get a kill, fall back out with the operator. The rest of the team, they're stacked up and now looking to get aggressive. They've only got pistols to play with, so why not? Low HP, thanks to the C's. Fantastic start. 1-to-1 trades in a round like this, especially when ardiis is floating around with that operator to recover, is great. But if you keep going forward, you're running into a firing squad. You'll lose the site. They'll walk in and plant, and ardiis then has to save. Instead, they reset. They pull back, try to find some opportunities elsewhere, and really, I think, just cross their fingers and hope somebody walks into that operator's line of sight.
Instead, they're going to look to push down into this B-side. As I said, they had so much success there prior, but the spam from Shao has actually managed to completely remove keznit from this scenario. Now, they do manage to get themselves the block, but again, Shao just swinging. These sheriff shots have been nasty. He had a few whiffs earlier, but instead, he's already managed to force back another. A 3v2 in favor of FPX right now.
An ardiis the angle, but now, oh, he's actually gotten him through the pit. NagZ has to get on there. They tap the defuse. They could be on it, and they're not. He's found that out the hard way, meeting ardiis' sheriff. This round played so meticulously by FPX. From the get-go, you can see the intention, and what I love about it is that see him collat headshot anybody, so that's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Below average.
He needs to wake up. Where's the 3K collats? Come on. 3 rounds left to secure it. And look, for KRÜ, as you said, last time this was an attack side heavy map. Now, these teams have had to go back to the drawing board. They're both intimately familiar with how they each played last time. It's a whole new world here. I wouldn't be surprised to see KRÜ have that resurgence on the defensive side, but from what we've seen so far, FPX have looked incredibly clean. KRÜ have had some good rounds. We need to see that consistency, and now their economy's against the wall. They're very mixed bot. It'll be hard to find value in this round.
Shao's in position. He's actually got the res online, so even just taking this angle seems a little bit risky, but at the same time, with 4 players already backing up. You've got positioning as well from Shao and SUYGETSU. Mid being held as well. And they're just being able to delay. The knife doesn't actually manage to take away any of the utility on the other side. So now you're seeing snake bites and slows even being thrown in. And they've only got 35 seconds, Mitch. They have to move soon.
They absolutely do. And Shao's gone. Quick trade, SUYGETSU gonna hold on back yellow as long as he can. But that timer, it might not be so much of an issue, not with the space they've carved out for themselves. The plant, the wall being broken open, but I think we're still safe. The spike is gonna go down. So will the player planting, but they've now got the time on their side. They still need to win the duels with disadvantages. keznit, he has his ult. More importantly, he has the Vandal. We've lost Klaus, the pistol player, for a bit of information, but the trade is there with ardiis gone. They're holding on strong. Stronger than expected. It's only Angel left. And delzik just delivered in every single duel. KRÜ would have had that, huh?
Do you even do pick'ems?
I did this time. It was more depressing than I had imagined. Okay, no TP. ardiis is kind of in trouble here. He's got the op for the team. Now next round, he'll have his tour de force. Oh, he's missed the shot, but Shao, he's made a balls to ardiis. What's happening?
He used up all his power in the first few rounds, it seems. A few whips that might actually cost them. Mazino's managed to find Angel trying to be a bit cheeky, sneaking through. And the remaining couple, well, would be a lot.
It wasn't pretty to start us out there. It'll be a completely different round that we're facing into. A few missed shots and leaves it down to economy damage, which final round ain't gonna matter that much. Okay. SUYGETSU? He was almost in trouble.
I think it's financially they can buy. So even if he's just earning up a couple of ult orbs, it might actually be worth it. But it seems like just holding that rifle through into the next round is going to be the point of call. Although he's actually gone back in. As I said, it doesn't make the biggest of differences going into the next one. delzik, I actually want to highlight.
Tour de force, don't worry.
And a stinger.
He's not playing the stinger. We're going to go right away in for some aggression, but that's a problem. Couldn't use his ultimate if he got caught.
Take flight.
He got out of there just in time. But again, once they forced him back, that's where I feel like ardiis hasn't had the same level of success. And I think over the last few rounds, KRÜ have done very well just to remove him from the scenarios he wants to be in. Like in the early rounds, think about how far forward he was getting his openers. Now, he has to TP away before he can even take a shot.
And already you see a drone burns up one of those bullets. Mazino spamming the ice wall again, costs another bullet. He wants to blind fire through on the angle when it breaks. Came close, but no reward for his troubles.
Out of charges.
They come into this last minute of the round, and KRÜ are set on the A side. They will be coming in here. But that's just been spotted. Ult's receiving all of the information. Mazino going to be in trouble here with the Hunter's Fury, catching most of them. I mean, they're all stuck inside these little angles on the way in. Angel falls right away. ardiis only good for one. It looks like we might have a strong spot to play from for KRÜ. At least equalizing, but the spike's down in the open.
Oh,
what
no!
a nade!
He's gone down, and it leaves Mazino alone. We saw him pull off a 1v4 VODS this scene before. Two shouldn't be too difficult, but SUYGETSU just about holds on to an advantage. It was a fight back from KRÜ all the way through that half, but what was looking like an incredibly dangerous position, Mitch, it's winnable.
I thought maybe they could scrape together an okay round, but actually, an okay half. In the end, 5 seems like a pretty good recovery. I'm not sure about this next half, though. You know what? KRÜ are looking to hold the spot on B. They know there's 2 players here now. If you're on the side of FPX, you know that you've just spotted a chamber. You had a snake bite come through moments ago, but they weren't ready for him to be tucked in that nasty little corner. It's more damage delivered by delzik, and this eco not off to a fantastic start. They at least got the orb for their troubles.
Yeah, and then they get slaughtered. Prime Gaming flawless to take things home. Of course, the way that KRÜ are playing these bonus rounds is not similar to what you'll see from FPX.
But outside of that, your Bulldog on Klaus locking down mid, but on the sites, you got to get close. You got to tuck into those corners. Now, it looks like exactly what you said, Tom. That B push has come through. They're now up close. But the thing is, they were heard putting down that anchor. I'm almost certain of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, knowing he's there is one thing. Clearing him is
Yeah.
it's going to be a very different one. Getting into that position is going to be difficult. You can already see the rest of the team just stacked up outside A, waiting for some sort of aggression. It's very patient from FPX at this point. A team very happy to hold on to their defaults. The fact is, though, KRÜ really aren't giving them anything other than that aggression onto the B site. It's actually quite a passive hold. They are reliant on NagZ to get the job done. And it seems like he's going to have that first engagement, and he's going to win it. Was that the spike?
B.
That was the spike. Angel's being dropped the rifle on the floor, and
I have the spike.
well, the spike will be recovered as well. Now I see players are actually creeping up on A. The spike being dropped and a little bit of noise made has dragged rotations. It's dragged a lot of rotations, Tom. I mean, obviously, when you're playing these low lies, you'll be much quicker to jump onto a site and try to stack up, try to use numbers to your advantage. Unfortunately, that means that FPX should be able to get a plant in here, although they're under a lot of pressure. The wall's broken open!
Oh.
Shao has just broken open the round! What a beautiful double!
Yeah, they relied on Mazino's wall to maybe try and push them into position. A nice couple of kills, though. Swinging back almost instantly. This round is looking far more competitive than maybe it should do, and the timing has worked out wonderfully for NagZ. It's going to go down into the 1 versus 1. SUYGETSU with a huge weapon advantage here, and only 5 bullets left to try and get something done with the Spectre. He's going to have to switch over to the Sheriff, but the shot's just not connecting. Needs 1 to that head, and it's going the other direction. Just 3 HP, and eventually, after the most awkward duel of all time.
That's understandable. 8-7, full buy coming through for both teams, but all their money is now on the table. This is the one that defines who gets that strong start, because ultis will start coming online, and if you've got those rifles for the next round, well, that's an inherent advantage your opponents will not have.
Power of the Fade. Prowler already gone. In fact, Angel is without a lot of utility at this point. It's looking like they're really trying to pick up the pace, at least early in this round, but after not getting the success they wanted, they've actually fallen all the way off. A full rotation almost coming in. 3 players on the A site. 1 actually, well, in fact, 2 kind of watching into mid. I like that, though. They throw out the drone. It still gives them some information that there's players close, but they've now started to rotate back. KRÜ not falling for any sort of ruse here.
Yeah, having that trap and the mid control that they've spotted out is allowing them to move elsewhere. I mean, the problem is we've seen KRÜ get into those aggressive spots around here. Like, they're going to spend so much time clearing these angles. If KRÜ get the read and make that rotation, they could make it so difficult to get that plant down. But FPX seem to be storming the castle at just the right time. There's actually a white beat coming out. They've gone straight into the spawn! And that duel was not expected! That's completely caught them off guard, and every fight is going into FPX's favor. NagZ eventually answers back. It's 1, but there's 3 more players to find, and a Viper's Pit to battle into.
Yeah, I think even with a couple of players facing a little bit too aggressively, just with the amount of time left, a Viper's Pit to play up against, and a little bit of utility, but an operator onto NagZ, it's not going to be worth the risk. So just going to fall off. A 9th round will be bought. I do really like the fact, you might look at Angel there and you think, oh, it's a fade, swinging very aggressively. He'd used all his utility.
Yep.
The only thing he could get is the Haunt back online, which that late into the round really wouldn't have had that much value. So he just throws himself in as the entry fragger, lets the team set up behind him, because you have that distraction. You can then have the Viper's Pit in, and then there's not really that much chance of a loss of the round. And if Angel dies, doesn't... Especially in this composition as well, where you don't have that out-and-out aggressive agent to do that.
You just need someone who's bonkers, and Angel ticks those boxes. NagZ, I mean, we saw this exact position work out so well for ardiis. Will FPX use utility?
Yeah,
well, they
every
will.
round.
Right away, and he's in trouble. That was a tag.
Yeah.
Zyppan down to 50. I think he's gotten out of that situation smelling of roses. He should have smelled of something else.
This is a weird purchase as well. Like, this is somewhat of a harsh buy alongside the rifles they had. We've seen the Stingers bought up quite regularly throughout this tournament from the Chilean players, I will say. Or maybe an Argentinian thrown into the mix as well. It's still going to be the setup into the A site. And there's a couple of players pushing very close through this, but they're going to be spotted up and have to fall back.
All the control now taken. ardiis up top. He's got teammates swarming the site. They still need to find those duels, carve out a bit of map control for themselves, and little do they know how many players are waiting or the dangers that are there. The op has picked another. This is starting to look pretty poor. FPX need to get a duel on their side. Pop the ultimate to try and bridge the gap slightly, but short of a big fight here and now, this is going to be tough to hold on to.
The thing is the weaponry. There's a huge disadvantage at the moment for KRÜ. Well, ardiis just turns it back into their favor. It's left all onto Mazino. He gets the timing almost perfect, but Zyppan once again.
keznit. It was a fantastic plan on the mid crunch, but if Delzik falls without a kill, without two, that round is recoverable for FPX. He has single-handedly locked that one down for them and given them the lifeline they needed. They're now 2 behind, but FPX are on a bit of a weakness. Obviously, ardiis has got his tour de force, but we've seen that be stolen out of his hands a few times. Luckily, the knife already out. It's on the other side of the map to him. And as his teammates can't really do too much about this, and Mazino's stuck down below.
Yeah, isolated early. There were a couple more players here, but were forced out by that nightfall. And now ardiis is posted up on an aggressive angle. The thing is, this is going to be a position that's very, very difficult for them to clear. They have a Viper's Pit, but they need more space before that can properly be used.
Yeah, they have got a retake wall to work with at the very least. And now, a utility taken out of ardiis' hand. No operator for him, no tour de force anymore. He's got to wait, and he won't be able to survive long enough to get it back online. NagZ on a tear, taking head after headshot, and oh, he's going to drop down below. He's heard the steps. He knows at this point they've got to sprint, they've got to run halfway already. SUYGETSU needs to round the corner, and he's being defused under his nose. KRÜ are up to 9. What a round from NagZ.
More importantly, all those ults are gone for FPX, and their weapons are slipping.
All those ults are gone for FPX, and on KRÜ's side, not so much. They've got 2, about to have 3 online, and they're close to equalizing. On the verge, win this round, FPX is essentially yours. The weight lifting from KRÜ's shoulders, but they still need to handle this one. Great utility destruction and a nice shot from keznit.
Yeah, it's not been his best game, but I think if they take the map, he's not going to mind. Mazino, he's normally so solid from those positions, but he's isolated out. The early fight that benefited them so much quickly diminished, and again, there's nothing to really get them back into this position. They've been able to take out Smuto, and keznit's just going! His teammates not particularly close behind. In fact, they're going in 1 by 1. Just picked apart. It's not what we expected to see from KRÜ, especially after the last couple of rounds. And while NagZ, he's now just trying to hold on to that operator, bring something through with him, and instead, he chooses to fight and loses.
It's like, screw it, they can't use their util, I'm gonna send it right now. And as it proved, that was the wrong decision.
Oh, the Viper's Pit. We've been waiting for it to be used, and now is definitely a good time to do it. Delzik has been fantastic so far in this map. The thing is, though, they're almost just choosing to avoid it on the other side. It does push them in towards NagZ, but he doesn't have the greatest of weapons for this fight.
No, this probably isn't what you're looking for. The Bulldog, the Headhunter, some chances, some opportunities, but he's mainly relying on Mazino. And Mazino is playing there with a Spectre. He's going to grab the information, maybe the distraction as they attempt to come out. Almost paid for it with his life. And they're going to clear back yellow. I mean, now they've already put the knife down. And NagZ, okay, they'll just run it back. They'll make it out safely. Map control for FPX, but they would have liked to take a player down here for sure.
I'll find you.
Looking to try and garner some space. Zyppan, he spotted the angle. That's already going to be 1 to his name, but he can't quite correct onto the second Angel again, though. Just trying to pressure deep. I don't know if they're going to expect it to be. In fact, they have absolutely no idea. And the Snakebite has done so much damage to the res as well that NagZ is now tagged desperately low, just needing to try and clear this aggressive position from the IGL. Bear in mind, the rest are already looking to try and wrap him from behind, but Angel is just doing absolutely everything. He's finally gone down, but look at SUYGETSU. This is where he decides to pounce.
This is beautiful. I mean, his teammates need to hold on, though, because the angle, it isn't great. Now he's having to speed it up. The wall going down gives him the angle. The 1v1 that it comes down to, but the wall is blocking him off. He needs to sprint as fast as can be, and this time, Klaus faces...
Get into the afterplants, so he's just taking so much space that the plant can go down as a completely separate thing to what Angel is doing.
Last time they lost because of that collat that came through from Shao. Now we have a wall that if it was placed 5 seconds later, they would have won the round. It's soul crushing. From KRÜ's perspective, keznit, he's had a tough game so far, but that's tough. That is so bit. Oh, wow, that is a toxic round coming out of FPX NagZ. 2 kills. This is winnable. They're trying to fight back into it. The spike only now going down. Plenty of time, but it's as... And Dalzik won't last too much longer. That is it. The first map, the pick of KRÜ, falls into FPX's hands.